So when I eat a Kit Kat, I like to scrape the top chocolate off with the front two teeth, expose the wafer center, slowly separate the different wafers, and then eat each wafer separately.
My mom loved Kit Kats. By the way, I just have to say that. Shout out, Mom. You loved your Kit Kat.
Love you, Miss Teresa.
I was always a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or Snickers girl.
Snickers for sure. Reese's? Only the Reese's Sticks.
Oh.
Because I need the wafer.
Do you like Twix?
No. Twix are gross.
There's something stuck in my tooth.
Was it a Twix?
I think an Italian baguette and a French baguette are different.
I don't doubt it. One's like French and one's Italian.
Because I'll tell you what, baguette is a very specific thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not really diving into the structure of the crumb of this bread because I eat it too fast to give up.
Got it. You know what? You know where is like hardcore baguette for sure?
Yes.
Wine and cheese.
For sure.
Again,
we're listing things that only people from California would know. Catch up, come visit us.
I know.
And we'll take
Sorry,
you to all
guys.
the spots.
We'll make a list of all the places you can visit when you get to LA. But here was the real question that I wanted to ask you.
Okay, tell me.
What are your thoughts on moisturizing? Meaning, are you a person who gets out of the shower and has to lather in creams and lotions?
Creams and lotions. Or
are you like, I get out of the shower and I don't put shit on?
I don't know if you're coming for me right now, but I was putting my makeup on.
And I'm not coming for you at all.
I was putting my makeup on this morning. I was like, my skin is dry. I should probably put on some creams and lotions. So can you tell that I feel dry right now?
No,
Or that's
just marriage.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
I'm
yeah.
just psychic.
You know, it's funny. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be the girl who was like, I'm gonna just slather my body and stuff. But every time I get out of the shower, I hate water so much. I'm just like, get this off of me, put the least amount of stuff on my body, and then I suffer for it later. Also, it depends on the moisturizer. When I was in Spain doing the Cheetah Girls, I found this amazing skincare company that only was in Spain. And I found these beautiful lotions that like Cleopatra used to use and all this and oils and things. And I would lather my body over that. But then when that ran out, I was like, there was nothing comparable.
I wonder if that's why you could high kick so well.
Because of Cleopatra?
Because you were so moisturized.
Interesting.
So you were just like
the elasticity of
and
my
they
skin.
say motion is lotion. So you had it all it's all connecting.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
To get motion, sometimes you need
a
some
little
moisture.
lotion. There you go. Every single day I shower. Every single day I moisturize after. Some of you may or may not know, but I decided that 2024 was going to be my year of hydration, my year of moisturization, specifically for my feet. So every single day since January 1st, 2024, I have gotten out of the shower and put tallow, because we're into tallow now, on my feet.
And how has that been for you so far?
Fantastic. So your hands are probably really tallowy and slippery. Do you think they can go into the teapot?
I can open it and you can go in there.
Such a rare occasion that I get to pick.
She's so good with the one-liners to get us into it that I got to make sure she gets in there sometimes.
Thanks, babes. Should TikTok be banned? I'm kind of surprised, to be honest. I think that it's a form of censorship that I didn't necessarily believe we had in our country. I wouldn't think that an app, a social media app, could potentially be banned. I also think it's very interesting that it was kind of packaged in this foreign security package that also included Israel and Ukraine and having financial support being sent to those countries.
I don't think TikTok should be banned. And at the same time, I think there needs to be some type of regulation when it comes to apps from foreign countries, because the cyber world is such the wild, wild west when it comes to protection. The reason they put it in that bill was to hide it and to scoot it through. If you notice any
100%.
of those big packages, they hide stuff that you
Yes.
know, we don't know about just to get stuff through. If an American company buys it, TikTok is here. Woohoo! We were having dinner with somebody the other night. They were like, I can't believe TikTok is still on. It needs to be banned. I was like, why do you feel that way? And they said, well, because when it's over in China, the kids get great content, how to do math and how to teach them. And then over here, it's like the algorithm is so negative. And I'm like, I find that interesting because the algorithm is only reflecting what you search.
That's actually why it's so successful and why people are so addicted to it, is because the algorithm is so good and it's so good at pumping at you what you want to see. I really appreciate the content that I have come to discover. It has taught me how to do my makeup.
You guys, pause. Yes.
No, it really has. And
I know it has. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't even teach her how to do her makeup. TikTok has grown my wife's makeup counter beyond.
It has. And I've gotten these like amazing product recommendations, and I've seen how to contour different ways. And I really appreciate that. And I'm watching like one of my favorite makeup artists. Her name is Katie Jane Hughes, and she's so great. Exercise, mobility, makeup, fashion, perfume, food. It's enriched my life in several ways.
But we're also not ignorant to the fact that there have been some algorithms that have been in the news lately with certain people with not such a wonderful experience. And to balance that kind of TikTok experience, I think that the government went to the extreme.
You know, if the conversation was about bullying, I would go, okay, that makes sense. Like social media has become such a free-for-all for making people just go crazy and hurting people. And I believe that there has to be protection. And I see things, you know, there's like anti-bullying on TikTok.
But then there's also bullying on TikTok.
1000%.
Like, it's equal.
The reason that the government is actually actively trying to ban this app is because they're afraid of our information being sold to China. It's all about data, and it's all about privacy.
Even though that during when they were having all of the conversations and bringing the owner of TikTok in, that was one of the pillars that they stood on about the algorithm, and that it pushes negative content to those who are very susceptible. My algorithm is so different than yours. It's about depression. It's about different types of mental health. I didn't type that in. It came up. I think the problem with it, along with all the problems that we listed, is that America stands on the act of freedom of speech. You know what I mean? Freedom of news. You can say whatever you want to, no matter how evil it is. If it's too evil and you get hurt, then you get sent to jail. I'm not a lawyer. I don't read the Constitution on an everyday basis, but that's the gist that I understand enough. By banning it, you're banning freedom of speech.
Yeah, I agree completely, because I don't perceive our country, and this can be controversial, to be a country that cares about protecting or taking care of its citizens. I genuinely don't. I think if it did, that we would have free healthcare. I think we'd have paid maternity leave. I think we'd see a lot of things different. I think our food would be better. I think all people would have access to education. Honestly, the government is scared of China, and that makes sense. There's been so much tension with the Chinese government, and I think that since China amended their own national security law, every business is subject to having to provide whatever information and whatever intel that they acquire to the Chinese government. That is where I think probably our government feels on the fence with TikTok, because TikTok is owned by a Chinese business, and those people, by their own law, are required to submit their information to the Chinese government. You know, India banned TikTok in 2020. There are many places that have strong regulations regarding TikTok, many countries.
Fair. And to your point of the fact that America doesn't take care of their citizens, they tell you, we care, but then they pump you full of negative things, but then they tell you. A lot of people don't follow actions, they follow words. And that has been the gimme gotcha of America since the beginning of time.
And there's two sides to it, right? Where we think we have all of this freedom. We have freedom of speech. We have the ability to go wherever we want. But at the same time, I feel like the way in which we're regulated and policed is so undercover in a way that we don't actually understand what's happening. Part of what TikTok has done is they allow people to see firsthand information. Since Twitter has essentially died, or I guess it's X.
My mama loves X. Don't tell her that it's dying.
We're seeking news sources, and TikTok for a lot of people has replaced news. I know for me, it certainly has. I literally get all of my current events off of TikTok.
People are vying for more ways to obtain non-biased information on the spot.
At your fingertips.
Yeah, and X isn't doing that as much. Now it's more conspiracy theory, and Trump really did some crazy stuff to it. So I can see why TikTok has really grown through the ranks of social media.
There is so much noise now on TikTok because it's kind of become this one hub for information. Yeah. X is kind of gone. Everyone is kind of dumping their content there. And then people are being inundated and overwhelmed with information. And it's really up to the viewer to discern what resonates with them, what is factual.
We have experienced this, and a lot of people have too, but some of these videos are just based on excerpts of a conversation and not the whole thing. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're creating this whole
narrative.
universe.
Yeah.
And then that universe turns into another universe. And then you're like, how did you get there? Well, I heard a TikTok that told a TikTok that heard a TikTok that said that you said this.
That was stitched and then stitched and then stitched.
And it's like, okay, calm down. That is something that,
Yeah.
you know, should be changed in the TikTok world. We're in a wild, wild west form of information right now.
100%,
we have
babe.
so much technology at our fingertips, and our brains are still very, very young when it comes to this world.
How we process all of the information. I think that what you're saying is so true, is that like the advancement the human has made when it comes to technology is profound. However, when you think of the human and our emotional capacity to process what we have done,
we're still children.
we're still eons behind.
Yeah. Maybe when another company buys it and we can keep it, there will be some rules to that. Actual verified accounts where it's like, of course, we don't want you to be censored by a company like a Fox or a CNN, but at the same time, we want you to give us factual information.
It's interesting though, because you just said when another company buys, and ByteDance, which is the Chinese company that owns TikTok, has said they will not sell.
Then don't sell, and we'll come up with our own and call it TokTik.
Elon Musk recently tweeted something on X. Is it still called tweeting on X, or is it called Xing?
I don't know, but Elon needs to go sit down because my car's breaking down.
You know what he said?
I don't care.
Vine. And now
Vine's coming back?
Yep. People are like, Vine is coming back. It's going to be huge.
Sit down, Elon.
If TikTok is gone, there are a lot of people who are going to lose their income. And
I know.
And it's Uber income. Like
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money that's going to be lost. And I feel for those people, because the people who have left their corporate jobs, their 9-to-5s to become full-time content creators who are now going to lose that platform, that's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, and that is America. The new set of rich people are going to be on Vine. Like when Vine first started, a lot of celebrities
Vine, babes.
I know, right? A lot of celebrities came up on Vine. And a lot of celebrities came up on TikTok. Now it's just going to be that new batch of people. We keep jumping from platform to platform.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is nowadays. You know, it's like I said, the wild, wild west.
And I think that when it comes to TikTok and the negative sides of TikTok, when we think about trolls and hate and bullies and things of that nature, it's a reflection of our society and how people are being excused and how people believe that they can act and how people crave certain forms of attention. But I really think it comes down to individual action. I wouldn't want the government imposing regulations on how to even handle the negative side, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then I stand over here like, a person is smart, but people are stupid. The more people
100%.
that come together, the stupider things become, the worse bullying gets. We're at a point in society where we need regulation, in my opinion, because you'll always have that one person who's like the rule breaker. I don't have to listen to them, whatever. And because of that person opening that little crack in the door, multiple people flood through, and then more rules have to be had. If we were a nation of rule followers, I personally don't believe that we would have the need for so many regulations, but as regulations happen, more people fight against the machine. There's that balance, right? It's that balance of knowing that we shouldn't be sheep, but sticking to some rules so that we can live an easy life.
And I would want to give more credit to humanity to think that we could care for each other and just use common sense, but we haven't and we don't. And I think that the pursuit of the truth, which I think is what so many people want and crave, there is no truth.
There is no truth.
There is literally no one truth. And the
truth is whoever has the most money. Whoever has the most money, their truth is the truth, because they can make all kinds of people believe it. Who can control your child, and your neighbor's brains to buy their product, to be a part of their product? They want control of us because we are their sheep. If it wasn't for us, they wouldn't have the money and the taxes in order to do whatever wars they're trying to do. They keep us in the loop so that their agenda will always succeed.
And that's why I feel so blessed to be a Leo, because lions don't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. I mean, that's a quote.
From who? Tony the Tiger.
Our toast today is to a very cute puppy that was born in Florida. He is a golden retriever. However, he was born green.
Let me see.
He was truly born green. His name is Shamrock, obviously. And
I'd have named him Clover.
And it's because of something to do with the bile in his mother's system. It somehow kind of like cross-pollinated into Clover, and now he's a green little pup.
It's like Rover, the big red dog.
Oh,
used to
you mean Clifford?
Yeah, Clifford.
Yeah. I loved Clifford, the big red dog. I read that all the time. I loved it.
My brain sucks sometimes.
Your brain is cute. It just is like cheese. It has some holes in it.
It has holes.
I hope that you guys enjoy this tea time.
And if you have a baby that's born green, don't shun them. Show them to the world.